presiding officer and then Toastmaster of the day and ballot club representative. She can be the ballot club representative. Well, Nicole is here.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, good, thank you.
Cilla, Lily, you just the camera.
Pardon?
That is the camera.
They will give you the
Yeah.
the name and
I don't know, nobody yet. I'm trying to tell Cilla that she's responsible. But she's my evaluator.
Good afternoon. Hello, Toastmasters, dear guests. Thank you very much for your interest in our regular meetings associated with VIC Toastmasters Club. My name is Tatiana Chernyavskaya. I'm a president of that club. I'm in honor of being president and presiding officer of today's meeting. We have a short but sweet, I would say, menu for the start before the regular meeting. And one of the points on that menu I would like to acknowledge success we had with regards to the previous meeting, where we had a special workshop on how to deliver a good speech. And in this regard, I would like to thank our Toastmaster Nicole for her tremendous work and excellent contribution to the success of that meeting. Thank you, Nicole. For those who have missed that meeting, including me, unfortunately, we are not always masters of our time and trying to be masters of our toasts. The hope is that we will have another workshop of that kind in the nearest future, because the demand for actually repeating it, because we didn't have enough space, we didn't have recording, and some other matters were not covered properly. So if we can agree, and maybe for Nicole it's coming as a surprise at this point, we might consider having another workshop of that kind. Another point on my agenda is actually our district contest, which was organized last weekend. For those of you who were interested, that was a tremendous opportunity to see the work, or rather the crème of other clubs taking part in the contest on different categories, evaluators, speakers, and I've heard, again, not being there for the full program, that was exactly the experience you would like to wish to attend to in terms of your development of skills on how to present and how to deliver meaningful and interesting speeches. So that completes almost the administrative part of this meeting, because another point on the agenda is actually the need for this club to have its management to be re-elected or elected for the next year, which starts in Toastmasters terms from July. Please, our experienced Toastmasters, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually at the end of July, the executive committee of this club is going to be changed, and that means that all of the executive committee members should be re-elected or reconfirmed or step down if they don't want to continue their roles. So I would like to address my appeal to the current members of the club and future members, of course, as well, because then you also have such an opportunity to consider your role in this club, not only as a member, which is already important enough, but as a part of the executive committee. You can be part of different roles. We have very interesting set of roles, Vice President on education, on membership, on communication, of course the presidency, and other roles which are very important, and you can take those roles. So we will start our campaigning for those new memberships of the committee very soon. Please be alert and be prepared that you can please come forward to perform that role. That's it for the administrative part of that meeting, and I would like to proceed to the actual Toastmaster meeting of today. and would like to ask the guests who have already expressed their interest in just showing up in this room to actually confirm what brought you here and what are you expecting from the Toastmasters Club meeting today. So, who are the guests? Please show up and
Almost everyone.
Please, who would like to start? We have a couple of words. You don't need to be very detailed, but we would like to hear.
Please, your name first.
About your expectations, please.
Oh, yes. Hi, my name is Rezaie, and I work with Elise. And I came here because I would like to improve on my public speaking skills and to get over the fear of speaking in public. So that's my intention.
Very well.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes? Ehsan, you are not? Please.
Hi, I'm Yuko. This is my third time here as a guest, and my time is ticking, I know. And I don't want to pretend that I'm not a good public speaker, or I don't want to pretend that I'm too shy because I'm Japanese. So, I'm trying to, follow my heart, and now I cannot make excuse. So I guess I would like to be in the club.
Yes, for all the newcomers for the first time, please note that exactly that's a rule of our club, which is very generous rule to have any guest an opportunity to come 3 times to any 3 meetings, not necessarily in a row, but after the 3rd meeting, you would have to make your mind about your membership in this club. And here is the newcomer. So that's achievement. Who else is here as a guest, please?
Hi, my name is Nadia. I was here last time during the workshop and I really enjoyed it. And I'm here because I'm curious to see what more of a normal meeting would be like.
Very well, thank you for coming. Next one, please.
Hi, my name is Ilman. I was a member of this group many years ago, and then I left for 5 years, and then I'm planning to go back.
Very well, thank you very much. There are no former members. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Rezaie. It's been on my to-do for such a long time to finally attend the Toastmaster meeting. So I'm very glad my colleague actually here, Laura, told me about this club. And that's my 2nd time also came to the last session. And yes, I'm looking forward to see what are the learnings and how it unfolds.
Thank you for coming. The previous session was of course one of its kind, and we are not having such sessions every time, but we do have workshops and we do plan having them. But our regular meeting is what we are all here for. Anybody else from the guests?
Yeah, I'm Alex. This is my 3rd time as a guest, and yeah, like most of the colleagues here, I'm here to improve my public speaking and be better at giving presentations.
Very good. So you are in the right place. I hope that you would join us after this time in this meeting. That concludes the introduction of guests, and I would like to invite a Toastmaster of the day for his or her opening of the official part. And it happened to be that today is an exceptional day when I am actually the Toastmaster of the day. So we're having very different parts of the meeting, and one of the very important parts is actually the evaluation. Because we are not here only to speak and overcome the public speaking fear we might have, but also to improve. So improvement is what is based on actual feedback we receive. And because we have a club full of experienced speakers, we have different categories of improvements you can expect to hear about from us. In this regard, we have a team of evaluators who have different roles to help you as a speaker become better. And the team is actually guided by general evaluator, who is again happens to be me. So I have 3 hats today. And I'm happy as a general evaluator now to introduce the team who supports me. Thankfully, it's not only me. have a very important role, which is Grammarian. Inez, Toastmaster Inez is our Grammarian today, and I would like to ask Inez to present her role and the affiliated parts of it.
Thank you. And a Toastmaster of the day, on a guest, Toastmasters, members of the club. We have a theme today, which is discovery. Think about what you want to discover today. And based on that, we also have a word of the day, breakthrough. Can you see it? I'm just going to write it there.
Yes, that
in
would
the
be
back.
better.
I think it's very important to include this in your contribution, in the table topic session. Try to see how creatively you can work with those two words. As a grammarian, my role is to look at creative use of the English language, the positive examples you have been given, but also the negative ones. Okay, from the negative ones we learn. And as a grammarian, I will also look at who can get the grammarian crown, which is being given at the end of the meeting. And actually, I'm also going to look at crutches, the whatever. We have then actually an aha counter. So I'm going to look at her and work very closely with her as well. And to come back to the word breakthrough, we're using it all the time. Maybe in the office, in daily life. But just to give you an idea, according to Oxford, yeah, it still exists, not only Google. Breakthrough is a sudden, dramatic, important discovery or development which is having a major impact on our lives. And, for example, a major breakthrough was, for example, the computer. And now we have artificial intelligence, maybe? Okay. And with that, I'm handing over control of the meeting back to the Toastmaster today.
Thank you very much. Actually, in my role of general evaluator, I'm continuing to introduce my team who supports the meeting evaluation today. The next role on my paper is a timekeeper. Please.
Yep.
Toastmaster Rina, can you introduce your role?
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, timing is important. So my role is to look at the time. Lilly has a speed from 5 to 7 minutes. This is 5 minutes, this is 6 minutes, this is 7 minutes. And for the table topics, this is 1 minute is over, 1:30 and 2. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the timing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rina, for introducing the timing. For those who are not very familiar with types of speeches we have at our meeting, just watch out for the light, the colors. Green, you are still there and you are doing it well. Yellow is getting to the limit, and red, or orange in this case, is already getting over it. So please, that's the way to explain it in short. We also have another interesting role, which was already mentioned, but without explanation. And I would like to ask Toastmaster Martina to actually explain what an up counter means.
Martina is not here.
Yes, she's here.
She's not
I
here.
I didn't see her.
I didn't see her, I'm sorry.
Okay, so fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, so my role today will be to observe the way you are using fillers in your speeches, the way you're using and I will be reporting on those after you finish talking.
Thank you, Martina. I hope you didn't start yet because I'm talking too much, but that doesn't mean that I cannot but come to the next role, which is not filled in for that meeting, but with the authority given me by 3 roles I have today, I would like to ask Sotirios to explain to us and take the role of ballot counter, explaining what that role actually means.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The ballot counter actually will count the ballot once the votes are given for the table topics, for example, or for the speeches, whom speech has been the best one, the best table topic answer. I will be counting them and reporting them back with the final result. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Both representing the role and actually jumping in the running range. It was a breakthrough of today. Coming back to my role as a Toastmaster of the day, I would like to come to the actual important part which is we are having today, are starting from the very first speaker we have, and it's an excellent opportunity for all of us to enjoy a very experienced speaker, Toastmaster Lilly, presenting her speech. Before I ask Lilly to come to the podium, I would appreciate if the evaluator of that speech will introduce what we are going to hear about. So Toastmaster Cilla, if you can please introduce us to the forthcoming speech.
Thank you, Tatiana, and fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as the evaluator of Lilly, I would be evaluating her speech based on specific criteria. Lilly has picked the project. There are different pathways in Toastmasters, and she has picked a pathway which is called visionary communication. So this path helps you to build your skill as a strategic communicator and leader. And the projects on this path focus on developing the skills for sharing information with the group, planning communication, and creating innovative solutions. Speech writing and speech delivery are emphasized in each project. So for today, Lilly is giving us the 3rd project in this pathway, which is focusing on vocal variety and body language. She will present us a speech that is on any topic, but using vocal variety and body language and gesture, or both. And that would be the main criteria for the evaluation that comes afterwards. So evaluating a seasoned speaker like Lilly, I would consider it also as a personal breakthrough for myself. So, but I guess this is what we are here for today, to discover and to also to have achieved all the breakthroughs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cilla, for that introduction. So let's discover, who do you follow? Toastmaster Lilly.
Who do you follow? Who do you follow? Who do you follow? Who do you follow? The word follow, I think it's changed its meaning a little bit in the last, if I ask you today and if I asked a similar community 20 years ago, here in our host country, Austria, the German language, if you ask somebody, who do you follow? If you ask a child, it would be more like, who do you obey? Who do you listen to? Do you follow your mother? That doesn't mean that you're chasing after them, though you should perhaps sometimes. It means, do you listen to them? Do you attend to them? But what about each one of you? Who follows social media? What does social media mean? Okay, who's on LinkedIn? Who's on Facebook? Was that more or less? Who's on LinkedIn and not on Facebook? That was what I wanted to know. I want to point out my breakthrough, recognizing how times have changed. My discovery about the current generation of United Nations staff members. I left the status of staff member 5 years ago, and I'm still an avid member of this club. Toastmasters is a great place to learn, to follow, and to lead. Toastmaster's motto, the place for leadership and communication skills. Here in Austria, I don't know how many of you have heard of Konrad Lorenz, a scientist who discovered that grey geese, after their birth, will follow the first thing that moves that they see, because it's usually their mother. The mother hen is the one that leads the way, and the chicks go running after, and the mother duck, quack, 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 goes walking, and the 5 little ducks follow after the mother duck. Why do they do that? Well, Konrad Lorenz discovered that it's the first thing that moves after the chick hatches, and the chick believes that it's its mother. There's an instinct, a genetic gene within that grey goose that he was researching that told him to follow that mother object, even if it was a football or a dog or a scientist. In often cases it was. And you'll sometimes see people lovingly run around while their roosters or chicks or hens run after them. But what about you? Are you just reacting and following anything that moves, anything that captures your eye, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn? Do you have pop-ups on your desk now at work? I'm so annoyed now. This didn't exist when I was working at the agency, that we had pop-ups coming up into our mail. Not even, you could set your mailbox even whether you want to know when you get a notification when you have a new email, or whether you decide, I'm going to only look every hour or every morning and every night. I have the luxury now that I go sometimes a whole day without checking my email when I have a project that I'm working on. And even though I have my NGO activities, which also bring me back here, I am sometimes feeling like I should have been there more often, but I use the privilege of not following my emails, not even my WhatsApp, my social media, when I'm focused on what I really want to do. So my question to you is really, who or what do you follow? Who or what are you really following, and what is it doing for you or to you? Oftentimes, we take a very passive role and literally just follow the impulses. I have a number of mentors, and some of them talk about following the shiny objects, the shiny object syndrome. Oh, a new mail has just arrived, a new newsletter. There's a new project. I could do this. This sounds really great. I'm going to sign up for this now. Hey, how many clubs were there at Clubs Day? Thank you for coming and choosing Toastmasters, because this is really a place where you can learn, where you can follow, but not only. Leadership is a core value in Toastmasters. Now, who's going to lead you? If you don't find the people here that you think are good enough to get you to next level, what are you going to do? Give up? Look for something else? What if this is a good program that that person who really knows it better than you didn't turn up today? I honestly believe we all have something inside us beyond genetics, instincts, and that is conscience. As spiritual beings, we humans have this incredible tool, this intuition that can guide us and help us. And if I don't know, should I come or shouldn't I? Should I do it or shouldn't I? When we truly learn to listen and tune in to our intuition, my intuition told me I've got to come today. I haven't been here. I wasn't at the club contest. I wasn't at the other meetings. I'm not standing for any positions. I've been a long time member since 2010. And I must say, I'm really, really grateful to be in this club. I'm really happy to see you all. And I'm also all for intergenerational communication, because I'd like to tell you, as I used to laugh when the retirees came into the Toastmasters meeting and say, there's life after the UN. There is life after the UN, but you've got to create it. You've got to do it yourself. So my message to each one of you, ask yourself, who do you follow and why? Where do you want to go? Where are they leading you to? And ultimately, you'll be the leader. And the highest aspect of the leadership that you can follow is within yourself, your conscience. Madam Toastmaster.
So, Toastmaster Lilly, who do you follow? We are not stopping here with our opportunity to speak. We have another opportunity for each of us to actually take the floor. But it's not unorganized. That is why we have a Topicsmaster who is organizing us for impromptu speeches. I would like to ask Toastmaster Ehsan to present his role and perform as a Topicsmaster of today.
Can we have 1 minute? Can we have 1 minute?
Yes, and everyone, excuse me, thank you for pointing out. We can all evaluate and provide our feedback to Lilly. We have now 1 minute. There are pieces of paper in front of you.
Another ballot somewhere? Another ballot? I need that.
Yes, there is a piece of paper, and you can actually share with the neighbor. So it's not only the speaker, but also the feedback which we are practicing here. Rina, if you can please watch out for time. Are we out?
No,
It's
not
1
yet.
minute.
Not yet.
It's never enough, but let's not exaggerate.
One minute is over.
Thank you. So for those of us who are not yet done with this feedback part, we can slowly wrap up, and our cup for feedback is coming to be submitted. No, it's over there. Over here. Speaker one. So please, if you can keep the note inside of the cup, and we will make it available for the speaker later. While we are now collecting your feedback, we are proceeding to another important part of the meeting, which is impromptu speeches. And I would like to ask our Toastmaster, Ehsan, to kindly take his role as a Topicsmaster of the day. Please, Ehsan, if you can explain us and guide the role. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. So as the nature of the Toastmaster meetings, we always have our third part of the meetings, which it's going to be a table topic. So this is not a prepared speech. So anybody as a table topic master will drop a question, a bunch of questions, and as a real-time scenario, you have to answer. And this is a training that you prepare yourself better than just talking in the friendly environment, but a structural talking. And so, I will start with my question because I don't want to introduce it more. I have a few questions for our colleagues to see how they evaluate themselves for the last 4 months from the 1st of January 2025. Because so many people, they say, this is a baby year. For some people, it's a happy year. For some people, it's a sad year. Economically, job-wise, let's say, in relations. So let's see how our colleagues, in an honest way, or also just as a training, you can answer to these questions. Yeah? Okay. My first question goes on to Alex. And
do I need to stand?
no, you can just. So the question is, what was the best moment that you had since 2025 started this year?
Best moment. Ooh, okay.
If you want to be filmed, it would be good to stand up and
No, I
face
think
the
I'm
camera.
fine.
If you don't, then that's okay.
But well, the best moment I would say that I mean I'm part of a team which plays volleyball, and recently we won the tournament in Vienna, and I think this was a very.
I want to ask another question is about what is the saddest moment that I don't know. I will ask from. Laura, I got a little. I will ask from Laura. What was your saddest moment since 2025 started? You can just share, or just you can just come up and say hi.
Sure. So 2025 for me was a full circle year. And what I mean by that is that I had the chance to revisit an old place that I used to know very well, and to see a lot of old friends and colleagues that I had not seen in many years. But there was a sort of bittersweet sadness to that. As background, when I was a little younger in 2019, I lived in Rwanda for 1.5 years, and I worked at a cancer center in the rural mountains there. And it was a wonderful experience. I made a lot of close colleagues and friends, but I was called back to the US abruptly when the COVID pandemic started. At that time, I didn't even get the chance to say goodbye to my colleagues because we were in different cities at that time, and it was really difficult to leave in that unresolved way. But this year, I actually led a project in my job now at the IAEA in Rwanda. So I was able to go back 5 years later for the first time, and actually we visited the same site where I had worked originally. And I told a few of my close colleagues and friends that I was coming, but I actually also wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. So a lot of them had no idea that I was coming until I arrived on the hospital grounds and went to their old offices and poked my head in. So I can answer this question, hopefully it's not cheating to say that it was a wonderful moment, but at the same time it was very sad because I saw the ways in which the work had continued so well and incredibly without me over the past 5 years. I barely recognized the team, the hospital, everything that had been going on. But in other moments I caught how it was exactly the same as it had been before. And there was a sadness in that I had missed out on a lot of those foundational memories that had happened after I had had to leave, but also a really beautiful moment as well in seeing after 5 years to be able to come back and say hello to all my friends. Thank you.
So I want to take the next question to Martina. Martina, so you are with us for quite months, and since when you discovered your potential, and what was the best moment since 2025 to now?
Thank you for the question. I've been in the agency since last May, and it's been like a roller coaster actually. It's been a very busy year, and only last December, when I was home with my feet up on the wall because I had a surgery, I started thinking maybe I should move on from being a consultant to something something which would be better for me. And I think at that moment I realized that, okay, I should start applying. And since I had all this free time when I was home, I couldn't take any sick leave as a consultant, so I just took days off, but I had all this time suddenly. So I started deleting my emails in my Gmail because it was just so full. I had to clear it up, yeah? And I realized that I submitted like hundreds of applications since, I guess, 2007, since I've been on Gmail. And that made me really sad because I was only successful in few jobs. I mean, they were amazing jobs, yeah? But these are our breakthroughs. So in our life, really, it's like a roller coaster. So we are up and down, and then suddenly we are up on the peak, and that's our breakthrough. So for me, this breakthrough this year, it just happened. I just got an offer for a P4, which I haven't signed yet. But I remember being in this interview a few weeks ago, a few months actually. It's been months now since I've been waiting for this moment, and it's a happy moment. But I remember being in the interview, and everything was fine, but I was really stressed, as you can imagine, in a face-to-face interview after all these online meetings that we have now since COVID. And I was really tensed, and then there was a question that I could not answer, and I thought like, oh my God, now what? And suddenly I said a joke, and I don't even know how it came out of me because I never believed that I'm funny. And especially now with this challenge of having these funny speeches, it just came out, and they all loved it. And I could just relax and then go home and think, okay, I just did my best and now I'll wait. So yeah, this is my story. I have my happy moment now. And yeah, you will get your breakthrough. You just need to be patient.
So, the last question, or I think I have two questions more, yeah, right? One? Okay. Since when you discovered that the AI is frustrating for you? These days, we see a lot about AI. Everywhere. Even if the person wants to do the branding, I saw last week something about AI. I was just shocked. There was a Turkish kebab, and the advertising was using AI to prepare the kebab. I don't know where was the AI there, because I went to that shop in the Gurta here, so there was no AI. You know, I don't know what they were going to use. But see, this is branding. Even the traditional apps, in the past they were exist. Now they put AI there. And there is no evaluation behind it, so we cannot, as a user, go and evaluate if this is a you. Since when you discovered that the AI is frustrating for you, not helpful? And I will ask this question from
Thank you, Toastmaster Ehsan. Since when did I discover that AI can also be frustrating? I remember those days, maybe about a year ago, that everyone started using ChatGPT when they presented their new model. I think it was 3.5 or something that was much ahead than the previous ones. And everyone was so excited about the potential users at work, that maybe it will sort out the emails for you, maybe it will rewrite things for you. Or someone was just excited, and also me, I was very excited to just sit with it and chat with it and try to understand whether it has a consciousness or not, whether it is self-aware or not, and try to interact with it as with some kind of separate entity, right? But the moment when I have discovered that it might also bring some disappointments to us is when I realized that it also bears many risks as a technology in the long term. What if we create a general intelligence AI, but we cannot control it? Or what if it is created by someone who can control it but has malicious intentions? The problem of alignment, right? The more I discover this topic, the more sometimes anxious I get about our long-term future. And this is the moment that I have been experiencing in the last few months. since the beginning of 25, and this is when I realized that AI can also be a disappointment. They're realizing the scale of the risk of it. Thank you.
Thanks for this. Before I give the floor back to the Toastmaster of the day, this is funny that because I just put a line to your words, I just also tested on my, I put the results on the LinkedIn, that I put two speech function of the AIs, which is a Gemini and also, let's say, ChatGPT. I put in front of each other, and I start the initial question with each of them. So they start answering to each other. And it was going for 24 hours, so both phones, they were dead after that. So they were just discussing together and sending the answers, and it was non-stop. And another one was the gossiping of the AI, which the funny part was there was an AI agent wanted to book a wedding event, and was talking to another hotel agent. So both of them was an AI. And then when they realized they are AI, with the syntax or this, let's say, tokenization that they have in LLM, they ask each other, do you want we go and talk our own language? So the human cannot hear that. So they had a weird language together. So, yeah. So I give the floor back to Toastmaster over there. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Some news from the AI world, very much appreciated. Coming back to the meeting today, we are actually supposed to rank or rather award the best Topicsmaster of the day for somebody whose speech you like, the impromptu speech which we had just now.
The people who I like Laura, Martina, and what's your name? And Remy, exactly. I like Laura, Martina, and Remy.
So please take the piece of paper in front of you and write only one name for whom you would vote today and submit it to this card. You have 1 minute for that. Timekeeper of today, please have the time dedicated to them.